The thoughts you think every day shape your destiny. If you want to create a new reality, start by changing the way you think. Joe Dispenza. If we think about it, the life we're living today is a direct reflection of the thoughts we carry and repeat daily. Every one of our actions, emotions, and choices originates from a thought. Often these thoughts are unconscious, patterns we repeat without noticing, and thus we keep recreating the same experiences, the same results, year after year. True transformation therefore begins at the deepest level, in the mind. Science shows us that the brain doesn't distinguish between external reality and a deeply imagined experience. It responds to our thoughts and feelings as if they were real. If that's true, we can rewrite the script of our lives, change the destiny we are headed towards, by consciously altering the thoughts we feed ourselves every day. And I'm not just talking about simple positive thinking. It's about reshaping our beliefs, our paradigms, so that we can generate a new perception of who we are and consequently, the reality we live in. When you start thinking differently, your perception of the world changes. It's like adjusting the lens through which you see life. What once seemed impossible or out of reach starts to become a possibility. And when this new possibility is repeatedly reinforced by your thoughts, it begins to manifest in your external reality. This happens because thoughts influence the electromagnetic field of the body, and in turn that field affects the environment around you. Now, think about this. If every day you wake up thinking the same thoughts, making the same choices, feeling the same emotions, how could you expect something different? That would be like planting seeds of a fruit tree and expecting an oak to grow. The first change needs to happen in the fertile soil of the mind. We live in a constant cycle of repetition, a cycle that keeps us stuck in a predictable destiny. And this cycle starts with our thoughts. Every morning we get out of bed, and almost without thinking, we're already reproducing the same ideas we had the day before. They're so familiar that we completely identify with them, and this familiarity creates a sense of security. But that security is also a prison. To rewrite our destiny, we must break that cycle. The beauty of all this is that the brain is highly malleable. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change its own structure in response to new thoughts, new experiences. This means that if you commit today to thinking differently, within weeks or months your brain will begin to reorganize the neural patterns that sustain your identity. And thus, your external reality will also start to reorganize. The question is, are you willing to let go of the old self to create a new destiny? Are you willing to release old beliefs, old ways of seeing the world, to allow a new life to unfold before you? This takes courage. Courage to leave the known and dive into the unknown. But it's in the unknown where all possibilities exist. That's where the magic of creation happens. Each time you consciously choose a new thought, you're creating a new synapse, a new connection in your brain. And by repeating these new thoughts, those connections strengthen. Over time, what once took conscious effort becomes automatic. You start living this new reality without having to think about it. Your new destiny begins to unfold naturally. However, the process of rewriting your destiny through thought isn't just intellectual. It's deeply emotional. Thoughts are the brain's vocabulary, but emotions are the body's vocabulary. To truly change, it's not enough to think differently. You must feel differently. You need to feel with every cell in your body the emotion of already having transformed, of already living the new life you desire. This is what many call living the future now. When you can tune your mind and body to the emotional state of the future you want to create, you are aligning yourself with that reality. And over time, that reality inevitably manifests. What happens in the mind and body creates a vibration that resonates with the external environment, attracting people, situations, and circumstances that are in harmony with that new state. But here's the secret. For this transformation to be true and lasting, it requires practice. A daily practice of awareness, of being present to the thoughts and emotions you are feeding. Each time an old thought arises, you have the opportunity to choose a new one. Every time a familiar emotion tries to take over, you can consciously choose to feel something different. And little by little, you will notice your life beginning to change. When you live with this awareness, you become the creator of your reality, no longer a victim of circumstances but the author of your destiny. And that is true freedom. The freedom to choose who you want to be at every moment, to create a life that aligns with your highest vision of yourself. One of the most important things you can understand is that the brain is programmable. Just like a computer, it responds to the commands we give it, and our thoughts are those commands. If you want to program a new life, you must commit to feeding thoughts that are aligned with that new reality. Every time you choose a new thought, you are rewriting your brain's programming. And the most powerful part of all this is that by doing so, you're also influencing the energy field around you. Our electromagnetic field is not fixed. It responds to our thoughts and feelings, which is why we can attract different experiences, change the course of our lives. When you're constantly vibrating in a state of gratitude, for example, even before external circumstances change, you're creating a resonance that attracts situations and people in harmony with that vibration. Therefore, when you rewrite your destiny through thought, you're not just creating internal change, you're also influencing the world around you, consciously or not. And the more you practice this, the more power you gain over your reality. Now, reflect for a moment. Think of something you want to change in your life. It could be a relationship, your career, your health, any aspect that feels out of alignment with the life you desire. And ask yourself, what thoughts am I feeding that are sustaining this reality? What emotions am I perpetuating that keep recreating this situation? The simple act of becoming aware of these patterns is already the beginning of transformation. Because once you see the pattern, you have the power to change it. And remember, this is a process. It doesn't happen overnight, but it happens. With patience, persistence, and practice, you can literally rewrite your destiny. Life is made of choices, and each choice we make is part of a fork in our path. However, what most of us don't realize is that often, we're making those decisions based on an automatic pattern shaped by the past. We react to circumstances the same way we always have, because our brain has been conditioned to operate in a certain way. But what if, from today on, you could make choices not based on the past, but based on a new vision of the future? That is the essence of rewriting your destiny. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. What version of yourself would you like to become? How would you like to feel every day? What experiences would you like to attract into your life? If you truly take this vision seriously, you'll see that it needs to start now, this very moment, with the thoughts you're thinking. Every choice, every action must be in harmony with that future version of yourself. Most people live according to a survival mindset, reacting to what is happening in the present, often without realizing they are simply recreating the past. They repeat the same emotional patterns, follow the same neurological pathways, and thus perpetuate the same experiences as always. But there is a different way to live, a way that allows you to create your life with intention and purpose. This requires, above all, a shift in your consciousness. You need to become aware of the unconscious thoughts that have been driving your life until now. You need to recognize the familiar emotions that keep you stuck in an old reality. And then, you need to replace them with a new mindset, a new set of emotions that align with the life you want to create. The process of transformation is not linear. There will be days when you feel challenged, when old thoughts try to take over again, and the old self attempts to regain control. This is expected. After all, you're literally restructuring your brain, breaking years of conditioned patterns. But each moment of challenge is also an opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to your new reality, to consciously choose thoughts and emotions that align with who you want to be. And remember, your thoughts create an electromagnetic signature, and that signature sends a message to the universe about who you are. When you align with the thoughts and emotions of your ideal future, that message becomes clear and powerful. You begin to attract experiences into your life that reflect this new state of being. That is the true power of conscious creation. Many of us wait for external circumstances to change so that we can change internally. We wait for a new job, a new relationship, or a new level of health to finally feel happy and fulfilled. But that's living from the outside in, which puts us in a position of dependence on circumstances. True power comes from living from the inside out, from changing your internal state and then watching how the world around you begins to reflect that change. Transformation happens when you commit to being different regardless of circumstances. When you decide to be more grateful, more loving, more abundant, even if external conditions haven't yet changed, you are, in fact, influencing the field around you. And over time, that internal change becomes externally visible. Now let's talk about the importance of practice and repetition. If you want to profoundly change your destiny, you need to understand that this is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. It's not enough to think differently for a day and expect permanent results. It takes practice, dedication, and above all, consistency. The brain works like a muscle. Just as you wouldn't expect to gain physical strength by going to the gym once, you can't expect to change your mind without repetition. Each time you consciously choose a new thought, you are strengthening a new neural circuit. And over time, those new circuits become more and more automatic. What once required conscious effort transforms into a natural way of being. Think of the people you admire, those who seem to be living the life of their dreams. It may seem like luck was on their side, but in reality, those people, consciously or unconsciously, mastered the art of thinking and feeling in alignment with the future they wanted to create. They practiced the intentional creation of their thoughts and emotions until it became an innate part of who they are. You can do the same. The potential for this already exists within you. With each new thought, you are literally writing a new chapter of your life. With each new emotion, you are vibrating at a frequency that attracts new events. You are both the author and the protagonist of your story. A fundamental aspect of personal transformation is the emotional state you live in daily. Many people spend most of their time in negative emotional states: fear, anxiety, anger, frustration. These emotions not only keep the body in a state of survival, but they also limit our ability to create a new reality. To rewrite your destiny, you need to elevate your emotions to higher states of being. This means cultivating feelings like gratitude, joy, love, and compassion, even if external circumstances haven't yet changed. When you start living with these elevated emotions, you begin to tune your mind and body to the future you want to create. Gratitude, for example, is an extremely powerful emotion. When you live in a state of gratitude, you are telling the universe that you already have what you desire, even if it hasn't yet manifested physically. And that sense of abundance creates a resonance that attracts more of what you're grateful for. Now imagine what your life would be like if every day you woke up and consciously chose to start the day with gratitude, visualizing the future you desire with clarity and feeling how it would be to live that new reality. What do you think would start to happen? Therefore, as you reflect on your life and your future, ask yourself, who do you want to become? What kind of reality do you want to experience? And above all, are you willing to take on the role of conscious creator of your own life? The truth is, we all possess this power, but only those who truly commit to changing their minds and elevating their emotions will be able to rewrite their destiny. This means that from this moment on, you have a choice: to continue living the patterns of the past, or to start intentionally creating the future you desire. Transformation begins in thought, but is sustained by emotion. And when you master both, there is no limit to what you can create. Destiny isn't written in the stars, it is sculpted by your hands through your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So, what will you choose to think and feel today to start rewriting your destiny?